Like it or not, wireless is the future, and Apple kicked off that trend when they removed the headphone jack from their iPhone and when they released their AirPods. And it's only a matter of time where each phone manufacturer has their own wireless earbuds that work best with their own smartphone. Case in point, the Pixel Buds. Although they work just fine with any Android phone and they're still compatible with an iPhone, Google has stated that their Pixel Buds work best with their Pixel or Pixel 2 smartphone. So let's see how the Pixel Buds perform, and let's see how they stack up against some other popular options out there. The Pixel Buds currently go for $160, which is very much in line with everything else out there on the market. The Apple AirPods also cost $160, the Beats X retail for $150, the Powerbeats 3 retail for $200, and the Jaybird X3 retail for $130. But the latter three can usually be found on sale on Amazon. I got the Beats X for $110, the Powerbeats 3 for $130, and the Jaybird X3s for $99. If you want to pick either of these headphones up, I'll have links in the description below with the best prices, and if you click on the links, it really helps out the channel. Unboxing the Pixel Buds is identical to unboxing the AirPods. You get your carrying case with a built-in 630 mAh battery, the earbuds, and a USB Type-C to USB Type-A cable. Right off the bat, everybody's going to compare the Pixel Buds carrying case to the AirPods carrying case. And yes, it is larger, it is thicker, and I'm genuinely worried that the top lid will eventually wear out or just get ripped off. But the Pixel Buds carrying case is still much more manageable than the carrying case included with the Beats X, Powerbeats 3, or the Jaybird X3. And Google's design language is very prominent on their Pixel Buds, especially with the fabric texture on the case. Yes, it does look good and feels great on the hand, but it does cause a minor inconvenience. I'm a guy, and I wear jeans on a regular basis, but the fabric texture on the case causes a good amount of friction when taking it out or putting it into your pocket. It's not like the AirPods case, which is completely made out of plastic and easily glides in and out of your pocket. I know this is a first world problem, but it's something that caught my eye. Google's design language is also very prominent on the earbuds themselves. The first gripe is no, they're not completely wireless earbuds like the AirPods. They still have a wire connecting them like the Powerbeats 3, Beats X, or the Jaybird X3. But unlike the latter three, which use soft touch covered flat cables, the Pixel Buds have a braided cable, which definitely give it a leg up concerning quality and design. But the design of the buds themselves are also very similar to the AirPods. First off, they're meant to rest on your ear, not inside your ear like the Beats X, Powerbeats 3, or Jaybirds. They're also wrapped in silicone, which help them stay in place a little better. The wire on the Pixel Buds also acts like a makeshift ear fin like on the Beats X or Jaybird X3. But unlike the Beats X or Jaybird, which you essentially have to deconstruct to swap out the ear fins, the makeshift ear fins on the Pixel Buds are much easier to adjust on the fly. And the makeshift ear fins on the Pixel Buds work just as well as the silicone fins included on the Beats X and Jaybird X3. But if you need something that will absolutely stay in place no matter what, then you're still better off with the ear hook design of the Powerbeats 3. Now, when it comes to actually putting them on, that's another story. With the AirPods, when you put them in, you're good to go on the first try, and they stay in place very well. But with the Pixel Buds, you do have to work and find that sweet spot, and you might have to play around with the ear fins. And yet, I do find myself readjusting the Pixel Buds more often than I do with any of the other earphones. And the main reason for this is the cable. It's too short. If you move your head a lot, the cable will end up pulling on your earbuds. And another thing I want to mention is that the Pixel Buds don't create a good seal, so they let in a lot of ambient sound compared to the AirPods, which some people might like and some other people won't. On the back of the case, you've got your USB Type-C charging port. In general, when you open the case with the earbuds inside and see a solid green light, then the Pixel Buds are fully charged. If the green light is pulsating, then the Pixel Buds are charging. And if the pulsating light is amber, then the battery life on the Pixel Buds is critically low. But if the earbuds are outside of the case, then you'll notice the light is now white. 3 white lights means the battery of the case itself is between 75 and 100%. 2 lights means the battery is between 50 and 75%. 1 light means the battery is between 25 to 50%, and an amber light means go put the case on the charger right now. And Google claims the Pixel Buds are good for about 5 hours of playback time when fully charged, and the carrying case should be able to charge the Pixel Buds about 4 to 5 times. So battery life on the Pixel Buds is pretty much identical to the AirPods, but with one major exception. The Pixel Buds don't have quick charging, and for wireless earbuds that are meant to be used all day and ready to go at a moment's notice, that's a problem. The AirPods, Beats X, and Powerbeats 3 all have quick charging. If you put the AirPods in their case for 15 minutes, they get you 3 hours of battery. If you charge the Beats X for 5 minutes, they get you 2 hours of battery. And if you charge the Powerbeats 3 for 5 minutes, they get you 1 hour battery. And since quick charging is so important to me, I decided to do a few tests. I placed the Pixel Buds in their case for 15 minutes a few times and recorded their battery percentage. Placing the Pixel Buds in at 5% battery for 15 minutes got it up to 33%. Placing them in at 19% for 15 minutes got them up to 25%. Placing them in at 13% got them up to 19%, and placing them in at 5% again for 15 minutes got the battery up to 25%. And it's also worth noting that 25% battery on the Pixel Buds will really only last you about 30 minutes of continuous playback time, and charging the Pixel Buds from 5% to full took almost 2.5 hours. I can look past the Pixel Buds' flimsy and clunky case, but not having quick charging is a major deal breaker for me. But when it comes to sound quality, that's where the Pixel Buds shine. For the most part, the AirPods, Powerbeats 3, and Beats X all perform the same. They all have a lot of bass, and the mids and vocals are a little recessed. But the Beats X don't have as much punch in their bass like the AirPods or Powerbeats, and the highs on the AirPods aren't as sharp as the Powerbeats. And the Jaybird X3, which are universally loved for their sound quality, perform very well, and you can easily adjust the EQ through their app. But the Pixel Buds have a flat sound signature, and they also have a much wider soundstage, and that's what these other earphones are lacking. Personally, I think the Pixel Buds are the best sounding earphones here. Now let's talk about the capacitive touchpad on the right earbud. Whether you're an Apple or Android, if you tap once, you'll play or pause your music, and if you swipe front or back, you'll adjust the volume one step at a time. And if you press and hold, you'll activate your voice assistant. Obviously, Google Assistant on Android and Siri on iPhone. And what Google is trying to do is give you quick access to your voice assistant so you can get more done quicker with your voice. And we got a taste of this with the Bose QC35 Series 2 a few months ago. Turn the studio lights on. Change the studio lights to green. Change the studio lights to red. Turn off the studio lights. And although having quick access to Google Assistant is great if you're a power user of Google Assistant, the trackpad on the Pixel Buds is not so great. I just find that it's too sensitive and you get a lot of false positives. Most of the times that I take the Pixel Buds out of the case and put them into my ears, my phone starts playing music in the background or Google Assistant gets activated. If you go to adjust the earbuds a bit, chances are they'll put in some type of command. They'll either pause your music or change the volume. But the most important thing to take note of is, since the trackpad on the Pixel Buds is capacitive, they don't work if you have gloves on. Something I learned while I was out shoveling after the bomb cyclone. Whereas the AirPods, which use an accelerometer, so double tapping on either earbud will activate Siri regardless of what you're wearing. And if you're a power user, you can map double tapping on one earbud to activate Siri and double tapping the other to do another command. What's the weather like for New York City today? Regardless, neither the AirPods or Pixel Buds have the perfect solution to controlling your music playback without relying on your voice assistant to some extent. An inline controller like on the Powerbeats 3, Beats X, or Jaybird X3 is still far superior to controlling your music playback without having to rely on your phone. So, what's the verdict on the Pixel Buds? The touch controls on the Pixel Buds are very accurate and useful, but you have to be mindful of them. Having quick access to Google Assistant is great if you use it a lot like I have been lately. But what really sets the Pixel Buds apart is their sound quality. I think they sound great for wireless earbuds, but not having quick charging in the large flimsy case is a major deal breaker for me. I feel that these type of wireless earbuds should have quick charging so they can keep up with you day in and day out. Whether Google decides to get rid of the cable and make their Pixel Buds truly wireless earbuds, their top priority right now has to be to shrink their charging case, change the material to plastic, preferably with a matte finish, and introduce quick charging to the Pixel Buds. And I know I didn't touch on the Google Translate feature because it only works on Pixel phones, and quite honestly, there's no point to it. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It helps out more than you realize. For more product reviews and deal alerts, check out jimcaddy.net. If you want to support the channel, pick up a shirt. And I'll catch you next time.